And we are here in this day, and what's today's date, Case?
Today is March 5th, 2084, and we are about to unbox the new PlayStation 10.
The new, by that time, the PlayStation is just gonna be like No, this is our new guest. This is today our guest, our new guest on the podcast today. The other two lovers are not here. For some reason, whenever we're on the podcast, Jacob has to attack his toy. But yeah, we have a guest. What's his name?
I don't know, man. That's your baby. You gave it a name.
Karl.
So Karl. Okay.
Karl.
So how did you acquire Karl?
So
tell him, because this is not very conventional.
No, not. So you know how like it's really hard to buy one right now?
Yeah.
Because it's all sold out.
Sold out everywhere. I tried buying it from Walmart the other day.
Oh, I tried everywhere.
Nope.
I tried it on the pre-order. I tried it when it launched, and
here I am sitting there refreshing Amazon. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
refreshing Walmart. Doesn't work.
Yeah, same.
I got into my cart once at Best Buy. I was so excited, and then it just.
Did you see the meme I sent you guys? It's
yeah,
like,
you almost had me.
You never had me. You never had me in your cart. So
that was pretty funny. Very, very, very relevant.
Clever. Very clever.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah. So yeah, Julia. That was Julia's idea.
Yeah.
By the way, gotta give her credit. And she, because I couldn't get it, I thought I wasn't gonna get it, and I was bitching on Facebook. If you bought more than one PS5, I hate you. But I, not in a mean way. It's just like I hate you. And there was someone raffling one waffle. They're called waffle. Yeah, raffle, but they call it waffle.
When you spelled waffle, I was like, I think he meant raffle.
No, I know, but that's what they call it. It's not that it's I am dyslexic, but
my autocorrect wasn't working that day.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
No, but it's because so yeah, they were raffling one on Facebook, and it's Julia's friend.
Yeah.
And she's like, babe, I don't have Cash App. You need to Cash App this person $75. Pick a number. And I'm like, pick a number for what? And she goes, for a raffle. For the new PS5. I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I was kind of a dick about it a little bit. And then, I don't do this. We're never going to win. And then she goes, just pick a number and let's try it. Yeah, because we've never done it before. And I've never won anything in my life before. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. What do we got to lose? You believe in it, let's go.
$75. Was that towards a good cause, though?
Yeah, people making a little bit of money on the side, it's whatever. So I Cash App, I chose the number 18. And they went live, at 9 p.m., there was 20 numbers.
Okay.
They went live at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they were talking, they were like, should we do the third prize first or first prize first, which means the PS4? We were like first.
Wait,
first.
The PS4 was first
The
prize?
the PS5. I meant PS5. It's too new. It's too new. Yeah.
It's
so
like,
or the PS5.
It's
yeah.
very surreal right now.
So Julia was like, no, first prize. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, let's do the first prize, because if we lose, I don't have to watch it anymore. Like I don't have to watch the live anymore. If we lose, I'm like, if we win because they also had a $200 prize. Mm-hmm. But if we win the $200, they would have texted us, it's $200. It's cool. You get your money back a little bit more. It's cool. But what you want is this, because it's hard to get right now. Mm-hmm. Basically impossible right now. But so they did the wheel. It started spinning really fast, whatever. And then it slowed down to a crawl. And I mean a crawl. And it was on 16 when it slowed down. And it was like going like really slow on 16.
Yeah.
And then it went to 17. And the guy said, I think 17's going to win.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, son of a bitch is going to get it. Because like 17 was like right there. And then in the last little bit, it just went doot doot. And then I thought it was in the middle. I thought it was in the middle, like it was a draw.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to fight to the death. I'm like, that's it. Me and this guy, we're going to fight. No, to the death to see who wins the PS5. But no, it was the one that had Julia's name, actually, was black and the other one was gray. And it wasn't a line. It was just that it was on the line of the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then it showed up on the screen, Julia. And I was like, holy shit, babe. We're fucking lucky today, because I couldn't get it. I couldn't buy it on the pre-order. I couldn't buy it this time.
Like
and now we got it for $75.
And it's like the hottest item right now.
Yes, it is.
You know,
yeah.
You make this podcast tonight. You finish this tomorrow. You put it on Monday, and you are gonna get like views.
Yeah, just because people want to see it.
Unboxing.
Yeah. Yep. And we're gonna open it.
I have an idea.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna open it. You're gonna unbox it. We're gonna take a pause, and then we're gonna see you hook it up, and then we're gonna watch your first experience of trying it out.
Okay.
You wanna do that?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna unbox it in a little bit though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like right now. He's gonna stay as our guest, like nicely in the box here. He's in frame. I can't put him like this because he's giant, and then he'll cover my face. Karl, cover my.
Karl.
Does he look like
Why
a Karl?
Karl?
I don't know.
Karl.
You know when Rick Grimes used to Karl.
He's like Coral.
Karl. So yeah. You were telling me a story that I think is really interesting.
I had to shut it off because I can't listen to it anymore.
It was really interesting. I thought it was like
Yeah.
that shit was ridiculous.
I forgot what his name. It was something Johnson. So he grew up I forgot what city, but out on the West Coast, Arizona, Utah-ish, out in the desert somewhere. There's a lot of caves, and there's this cave called the Nutty Putty Cave.
It sounds scary just because it's like such an innocuous name.
Yeah, because you see, like
Putty.
inside the wall, it feels like the putty, which obviously the name came from the Nutty Putty.
Yeah,
And
because it's soft.
yeah, and so like in this cave system, it's not a huge cave because you literally have to crawl through this place. It's not big. You walk through. It's not cavernous. It's just really a tight crawl space. And I guess he's been doing this out there when he was like in his teens. So he was a
tiny person
crawling through and whatever. He's been doing it for years and he loves it out there. So it sounds like a really fun hobby. And since the cavern was discovered, a lot of people
just crawling through tunnels and holes that are like only big enough for your body.
Pretty much, but I mean, even so, it's just big enough for you to like crawl through, not like get up and walk or like crouch.
And you're
through.
like this.
Yeah, so you're pretty much crawling on all fours all the time. And I guess
like a worm.
It's really popular
like
in
a
the
worm.
in
How do
the
you say worm?
Spelunky community.
Yeah.
So people who do spelunky from all over the world come to this place too just to do it. But he eventually got married, got a couple of kids. They moved out to like Virginia, and then he came back home to visit. And now he's already in like I guess his mid to late 20s. Mm-hmm. But by then he's already gained a few pounds. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, but gaining those few pounds also kind of like is pretty much the reason where we're gonna get into, which is
so he gained weight.
And he hasn't been doing this for years now, so it's like, this is kind of like a fuzz to him, but it's something he used to like to do. So he went back home, and his brother's like, he's ecstatic, you're going to be here for a few days. Let's go back and just like look at the
Let's go crawling holes like a rat.
Like we used to. So they did. They went back there, and they were crawling through. And like his brother took him to like a few other spots, and his brother was like, this isn't challenging enough. Like we need to go someplace where it's, it's a little more tighter, a little more narrower. So like, and just imagine, this is a place where you're pretty much crawling on your elbows and you have to like wriggle your hips in a way to move forward. Just imagine that. And you're inside a little cavern, so there's no space on your left, your right, or above your head.
Yeah, it's just like...
It's like a narrow little thing that you're literally shooting through. So they wanted to go to this area where it's an offshoot where they pretty much they go through and then they kind of slide to the bottom. But I guess his brother was leading the way, and they kind of overshot where they're supposed to go. Mm-hmm. So they went to another area where it's a little more he wasn't really familiar with, but he thought, shit, maybe it's just up ahead. And the scary part that got me too was like he said his brother went up as far as he can, to the point where he's literally like this, and he's inching forward to the point where he's like, I can't go anymore. So he goes, and when you release the air, your lungs
you're a little smaller, yeah.
Yeah, so he gave himself, he would inch himself another forward again, and this time he's like, oh shit, I really can't go forward. Now he's like trying to go backward, and I can't go backward. I can't go forward or I can't go backward. And here's the thing, he's already at an angle slope, so his head is like facing
so he's going
down
like this?
Yeah, so his head is facing down.
Ooh, this is giving me the heebie-jeebies, though.
And his brother and his other friend was behind him, so they tried to pull his leg out, and they were trying to pull.
Are they in the hole too?
They're in the hole right behind him. Fuck. So say you're in front of me, you got stuck. I'm behind. It's like, Tiago, I got you. I'm gonna pull you out, and we got this.
And there's you don't have strength to pull out because you're also crawling.
Yeah, you're crawling, so there's no whole lot of space to really leverage your weight to pull. It's more like I'm just pulling you straight back, and you're already like in a slanted position. So am I. And
so I'm just like pulling you, but you're stuck, and I'm not, which means I'm just moving forward as I pull you. I don't have.
So it got to the point where the brothers gave up. Like, we're gonna go for help. All right. So as they're going for help, this poor dude, he's got a headlamp on his head, and he's trying to wriggle his way, try to loosen himself out. Somehow his headlamp came loose and fell down the hole. Now he's in pitch black, stuck, unable to move. Head down.
Blood's pulling in your head.
Blood's pulling into your head, which is not normal.
Can't breathe normal.
Yeah, his you can tell like his breathing is already starting to suffer. So, and the thing was, when help finally came, and there was people, that came around trying to figure out what to do, there was this woman that actually volunteered to go in. She was 5'3", she was like 120 pounds, very small.
Oh, she could just move
around.
Yeah,
she's tiny. She goes there, she has room to work with. And she also knows the cabin very well, so she knows where to go.
She's been there.
Yep, she's been there. So she goes on there with a rope. Now, here's the thing. It took her 3 hours just to go from the surface to where he was stuck at.
They were crawling forever.
Dude, 3 hours?
I mean, these guys took probably longer just to get out to get help.
Yeah. But now help is here. He's stuck who knows how long. It takes her 3 hours just to get to where he is. And when she got there, she was talking to him. And as she's talking to him, she kind of hears that he's already has fluid in his lungs.
Yeah, because
and it's like for how long he is. And it's like they're both, and in her mind, she was like, I'm going to keep him talking so he doesn't pass out or go into shock.
Yeah.
And for her too, so they're just talking normally and calmly. He's like, yeah, I'm going to try to get you out. I'm going to hook this to your leg. It didn't work. Hooking a rope to his leg while he's trying to be pulled out didn't work. At the same time, the folks on the surface, they came up with a pulley system where they're going to make pulleys, bring them down, and at each pulley, they're going to attach it to the wall with a rod that goes into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was, the cavern is really tiny again, so bringing a tool down there to make like these holes in the wall wasn't very...
They couldn't bring a big drill.
It wasn't proper. Yeah, to make a proper, what do you call those? Like
anchor.
Anchor in the wall.
Yeah.
Right. So even that was poorly built in the time span that they had, because now it's already been hours since this dude is stuck.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking
hours
die.
And hours. So at the point where they finally got the rope down him again, so who knows, maybe 18 hours, maybe a day's passed. I don't even know. I forgot. So she finally makes his way back down to him, and at this point, she tied the rope around his feet to try to pull him out. But when she did that, this dude is screaming in pain when he's being pulled, because all those hours of being tilted downward, all the blood has rushed through his upper part of his body, and his lower part has no blood left. So I don't know what that does.
You would think it would go numb, but it's probably just made it more sensitive, I guess.
I think so, because like they were talking about, like he was in such pain that they stopped.
Do you think
pulling.
it's kind of like, in the winter when the blood, when you're cold, and the blood moves away from the surface of your skin.
It stings, right?
And if you hit anything, it's so much more painful than just like, like right now I'm warm.
There's like a stinging sensation.
Like hit things and it doesn't hurt. But in the winter, when your hands are cold and you just bang it anywhere, it kills.
Yeah.
So it makes your nerves more sensitive?
Probably, maybe. That's how it is. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because the
blood
blood
is already
pulling into the core, but not into the surface.
Yeah,
of
so
the
the blood
skin.
is already gone. Just like when it gets cold, because your blood, goes away from that area.
Yeah, from the surface area.
Yeah. So they were pulling his leg, and he was just screaming in pain. So the woman was like, "Yeah, we can't do this." I don't know. Like he's just either he's gonna keep screaming or he might pass out. Who knows? I don't know. And they were talking about ways of like maybe we can oil him up. What she did was she actually cut off a piece of his clothes to just to give it that little extra millimeter.
Yeah, it would make it. Also, your clothes are like.
Yeah, so she cut his clothes.
You got more friction.
And that
if he was wearing
work.
a shirt like yours, you got friction.
Yeah, so she cut.
So
his
here's
clothes.
his naked.
It didn't work. They were talking about something else. It didn't work. The very last thing that they suggested was kind of like was having to break his leg and fold it over him. Just break his legs, pull his and try to get the rope to his waist and pull him from there so it won't be as painful. But literally, if you're gonna do that, you're pretty much pulling his body out first and then his legs folding over his body. So think about it, like breaking his legs, which sounds excruciating already, pulling him out where his leg is folding against his body. But there's no room. Think about it. There's no room for anything.
I think they were thinking about breaking his leg because she couldn't get to his waist. Do you know what I'm saying? Like his feet are here. She only can get to here. If they break his legs, she's able to get to his waist. But as they would pull it, it would fold his knees and his legs backwards because as they're pulling, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But when it got to that point, I was like, I just have to stop because thinking about it. First of all, this poor guy can't move. And I kind of stopped where it was because they might have tried it and it wasn't successful.
Because he died.
Because they pretty much said, this poor man at the beginning said, he died in there. Like that.
That is a bad... You know when people have what is the worst way to die? Do you want to drown or be lit on fire? Yeah. Or,
I think I never thought of being stuck in a cave, unable to move, pitch
almost
black.
Upside down.
Upside down, oh yeah, almost upside down, pitch black. But at the same time, they probably brought a walkie down for him to say goodbye to his wife and kids.
How do you think, him dying awful for him?
But the thing is,
because he's dying. But for his brother who stays behind, who also asked him to go in a cave fucking dive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How
yeah, he would feel shit.
Like you looked at him, you look a little heavier, buddy. Maybe we shouldn't do this.
If I never asked
you're about 50 pounds heavier. Maybe we shouldn't do this. But he's like, no, dude, let's go crawl. You got this.
It's I got this.
I got some baby oil. And
that's a pretty shitty way to go.
Yeah,
it's just pitch black.
It's fucking scary.
It is, because if they're gonna say, I can't get you up, bro, you're stuck here. We can't help.
So I was watching a story of people who survived, extreme situations. This girl's driving on the remote part of the highway. It was raining. She lost control, fell off a bridge, and crashed into they have tall grass. Mm-hmm. Smashed into a tree, and her car was like this, just kind of the same angle as the guy where the hill is. Mm-hmm. But the grass was so tall that she went through, and the grass went.
No one saw her.
So no one sees the car.
Yeah.
She said that she was beeping for a while, but it wouldn't work. But she was crushed, so the motor crushed in, and it crushed her legs in the middle of her thighs.
Really?
So she was stuck in that until someone found her, of course. She said she was stuck in there for 3 days.
No way.
Yeah, she was in and out of consciousness because she didn't die because even though her legs were broken, them being crushed didn't let the blood come into her body and poison her, with the infection. But her legs started to rot, as in they started to go black.
No way.
Because they had to amputate her legs.
Yeah.
They found eventually someone, for some reason, saw the car from far away in like a different turn. And it was like, holy shit, there's a car there. Let's go check it out. Mm-hmm. And then they went down and they saw that she was over there fucking stuck in this position.
Yeah.
And then, they called helicopters, people, and they came and they were able to take her out. But when they took her out, she said her legs smelled dead.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what the smell of death sounds.
I know, definitely not.
What does it smell like?
I don't want to know. But I'm just saying, like, that's also, she's stuck in there, and by all accounts, she's going to die.
Yeah.
Like, to her, in her mind, how long did it take for her to realize that she actually might die?
Yeah.
It's the same situation, different circumstance, same situation where you're stuck.
You're just helpless.
It's like that guy who James Franco did the movie for.
Oh, the one where he fell down the rock?
And then the rock fell and crushed his arm. And he couldn't get it out, and he had to cut it with a little knife.
Yep. If that's the only way out, because he's the only one there.
Bro, that's some brave shit. That's brave.
I mean, that's the matter of life and death.
Yeah. Either you cut your arm off.
Yeah, cut your arm off.
It's like a wolf when they get caught in those traps.
Yeah.
Which are ridiculous. Why would someone traps an animal
bear
like
trap.
that? Yeah, those big bear traps. That sounds so awful. And then the wolf chews its leg off to get away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how effective he would be as a wolf after that, but still.
He's still alive. He's still out there, chugging it down.
That guy, the same thing. Like, when he cuts his arm,
yeah,
you're like, fuck.
I mean, it's like that scene with the Terminator 2. You seen that part? Where Miles Dyson gets shot, and he's got a bullet in his shoulder. You never saw Terminator 2?
I think I have. I don't
So
remember.
there's a part where Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in, and he gets, and Miles Dyson is the one who makes the whole Skynet thing. They were trying to stop it. So what happened was Sarah Connor went into their house.
The black guy?
Yeah, it's a black dude.
Yeah.
She went into his house, shot him up to try to kill him, but like his son and the Terminator they were a little too late to stop it.
Yeah.
But he already got shot in the shoulders, but they came just in time. Oh no, she was about to kill him, and then she backed out.
Sarah Connor?
Yeah.
Is that the one that she was buff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, when she was buff, and then at the last second she
And then
stopped. She couldn't kill him.
What's the name? T1000.
T1000
was in it.
The bad Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that scene, right afterwards, the Terminator and John Connor came up, and like he already got shot. They were like, "Okay, I'm gonna remove the bullet. You have to sit very still." So he pulled out his little knife, and he cut his skin off, and then he ripped it off. So it just shows his robot hands.
Yeah.
But even that scene, I was like, I don't know, I was like 12 at the time, and like when he went like this, and he just went with the knife, I was just like,
he degloved his
robot arm. So and he ripped it off like that, and it was just his robot hand. But even that point where he went like that with the knife,
I'll tell you something insane. This week, I tattooed a firefighter, and I'm not gonna say what gender, it doesn't matter, because but this firefighter told me that there was a fire, and there was a lady in the house, and she was in the fire. She got a lot of smoke inhalation, and she got burnt pretty bad. And a lot of times when they're trying to save people who had a lot of smoke inhalation, they fight you. Mm-hmm. They fight you. They don't want to be touched. They're in pain, so their mind is not working correctly, and they're not getting, oxygen in their blood. And then they were able to stop the fire. When they went back, there was a degloved from a foot onto the stairs. Literally, the skin, all 4 layers, got degloved from like the calf down. What? And then when the firefighters went back in, there was literally a foot, but it was just like a sock of a foot on the stairs. Got degloved because they were fighting. It got stuck, and it was burnt. so the skin was like,
Oh yeah, yep, yep,
and
yep.
it just degloved perfectly from like a certain area, and that when she, now I gave her whatever. But when they told me that happened, my mind was like, what the fuck? And the lady died.
Oh yeah.
From smoke inhalation, not from that, but
Right.
that was ridiculous. Like that's just like disgusting. Not she's not. You know what I mean? The whole situation is
Yeah, it's pretty gruesome.
degloved. Like it's like degloving a rabbit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know it's different because
but it's a
like,
foot. It's a human foot.
Well, it's just a human body part.
So when you
that
say
it's hard
that,
to
it
imagine.
made me imagine that, and I remember that scene
Yeah.
when he has he goes like that.
Yeah.
It was like
It's like.
it was
Well, that's the
weird.
thing though. If you're gonna sign up to be a police officer or like a firefighter
Yeah.
or like any people who like especially first responder, is like be prepared to see some shit because I can't stomach that.
Exactly.
I have a weak stomach. I
The
can't-
cops that I tattoo sometimes they tell me some crazy ass stuff, and I remember when I was younger, there was an ex, they call it EML cop, one of the cops that go to pick up. He's not really a cop. He's like in between investigative work. So whenever someone dies, he's the guy who goes to pick it up.
Mhm.
In any type of situation, car crash, murder. And he told me, like, I was a kid at the time, I was like 15, and he was my neighbor. So we would sit on the crazy. I used to smoke cigarettes with him outside, okay? 15 years old. Here I am smoking cigarettes outside with this guy. And he told me that, like, the stories that, he said, finding dead adults wasn't as bothersome to him as finding dead children, you know, in situations like car crashes and stuff. And he told me all sorts of, like, he went to a car crash once, and it was a truck with a bus, and the truck plowed through the bus, one of those old school 1970s buses, and it just went, and then just people and pieces of people just went everywhere. And the truck was like carrying logs. It was just freaking awful.
That's insane.
Like think about it. You go there and there's pieces of people all over the road, and then they had to try to piece people together to like put it in the bags.
Right.
So like, oh, this looks like this guy's arm. This looks like this guy's head.
Yeah. See that I can't do that.
That's a job that I don't think I'm able to do ever. He says that the same thing that the firefighter told me is that when you go to calls and there's people, you know, they said like last week or something, this guy crashed last month or something, crashed his car into one of those flatbed trucks.
Yeah.
And then it cut his head off, and then his head flew.
Yeah.
Over the bed and stayed on the bed.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when people
So
when the firefighter came and brought the head, the EMT brought the head.
Yeah.
You see it, but you get, like when they watch a movie, this person watches a movie, they're like, ooh, gross, I can't watch that. But when you're at a place where that actually happens, it's something really gruesome, you get almost disconnected from the place. It doesn't look real. Like you don't think of it as it's someone who passed away, but it doesn't feel real. Your mind disconnects you from the situation. The same thing the other guy said. Like a lot of times you would go to these crashes where people look like they went through a meat grinder, and he would get disconnected. Like you don't feel like you're there. You're kind of somewhere else. You're just doing your job.
That is just the strangest thing to me.
So weird, right? Like you would see heads, and he would pick up the head with his hands. And
I mean, you'd have to.
No, I know
What
it's
else would
his
you do,
job,
right?
but someone's got to do it.
Yeah, right.
But
Someone could
still,
do it.
like,
It's like,
it makes it, like for us thinking, it seems so alien.
It's really different because like when you're driving, like you see like a dead raccoon that got squished. That's nothing. Or
we
like,
friggin' eat meat, you
Yeah.
know. It's like doesn't really.
Yeah, you see like
It's gross, but
yeah, like a squish rodent, something on the side of the road, and you're like ew, and you swerve around.
yeah,
like,
you know when the raccoon gets run over a bunch of times, and
like
it's just
literally,
pizza,
it is just, and you can tell
meat
it's fresh
everywhere. Yeah,
right.
and it's like, oh, it's gross, but you're not like, ugh. But if that was a person,
something about that is just different.
it would really. If it doesn't bother you, you're a psychopath. So
I think you'd have to be at least close to it.
Like if it doesn't bother you at all, I'm saying, like,
I
know those people, they train their mind to be able to disassociate from the situation to be able to do that job. Because I get it why they're not there. Like they're there, but their mind is not there. Like it feels unreal. It feels fake because you need to disassociate so you're able to see such gruesome. Because the human is empathetic, right? We see something, like when you see someone get hit in the balls, you go, oh fuck, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
That's because your mind, you've been hit in the balls before.
So you can relate.
And then when you see it happen, you almost feel it. You don't feel the physical thing, but
you understand.
But your brain sees it happening exactly how it is.
Yeah.
So when you see someone break their arm or rip their arm off, or you see someone who's all ripped to pieces, your brain imagines you feeling that pain.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why, like, I can't watch, like, you know, like those skateboarders.
Oh, and
like
they break their
hardcore skateboarders and like the BMX dude that doing all these tricks. And like it's one of those, you know, all-time fail or, you know, shit like that.
Yeah, when people actually get hurt.
Yeah, I can't watch people actually getting hurt. Face planting, who knows, breaking their arm.
I watched that movie called Faces of Death when I was a kid.
I tried to, I couldn't. I was like, this is not my thing.
I did. I watched it. It was disgusting.
Can't do it. Not my thing.
It was awful. Like, there's the worst video of them all is the one where the Taliban catches a Russian soldier, and by the way, it's really awful stuff. So whatever I'm saying here is pretty bad. And he cuts the guy's head off with a knife.
Well, that was around the time,
freaking awful,
right after 9/11, and they were kidnapping, you know, Westerners out in the Middle East
and cutting their head off,
and put it,
which is pretty awful stuff. I don't know how someone can do that. It's so close and personal. I think when you shoot someone, it's one thing. You know, you are far away. The shot is fast. You don't see the bullet really hit. You close your eyes. You blink. Do you know what I mean? It's just bah. It's there. It happened. Now you have to deal with the consequences of your actions there, whatever. But when you grab someone and they're close to you and you can feel their skin, you can feel them, they're looking at you, and you cut and you murder them, I cannot comprehend. Do you know what I mean? Even though I've seen and been part of, like, you know, killing animals for food. Like, my uncle would make us hold the piglet's legs as he would stab it in the heart with a knife, and the thing was screaming. And then you could hear the gurgling of the lungs filling with fluid, just because it goes through the lungs and it reaches the heart. It doesn't take long for the piglet or the pig to die, but it's still like, you still, as a kid, he's like, don't feel bad for him, because if you do, he'll take long to die. My uncle used to say that. That's like a thing.
There's a difference, though, because you guys kill that pig for food.
Yeah, it's for food. You're not killing it just to throw it, just for fun. I'm talking about when someone's so angry that they need to stab someone 30, 40 times. It's like, I feel like the mind's got to disassociate and go somewhere else, because, like, you're not, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think I could ever do something like that. Even if you hate someone so bad that you could just, like,
I never watched it, but they got, like, what is it, Mind of a Murderer or something like that?
On Netflix?
Those documentaries?
Yeah, I've never, yeah. You know, I've watched Kuklinski, the guy who used to kill for the mafia.
The one I watched recently, and it became more popular because they actually put it on Netflix when it was on YouTube, and for some reason, I just got intrigued by that story. That dude, Chris Watts, I watched that on YouTube like last year before it was on Netflix.
What did he do?
So it was on Netflix, and because it's on Netflix, it gained a lot of traction. It became really popular.
Yeah.
So back in 2018, this dude Chris Watts, he was married to this, you know, like he got married. He has 2 beautiful kids. Like they're really young girls too. And And pretty much his whole story was played out like, like trying to say like she left him because they were going through like some issues.
Yeah, divorce.
They get a nice house in Colorado, whatever. They were a nice young couple too.
What's up with people like the craziest stuff?
So
it happens.
He's making up all the
in those
stories and
areas
shit.
of the country.
And the youngest daughter was like 4 or 3.
Yeah.
The other one was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And he killed them all.
He did?
Yeah. He killed them all, put them in his truck, drove out to because he did construction, drove out to one of his construction sites and buried his wife in the dirt. His 2 girls, strangled them and dumped them into like these oil holding containers. They're huge, they're massive. And he threw their bodies in there. And I forgot because they were.
And then he went back home?
And he went back home, like everything's okay. They found out because like the friend of the wife came the next day because they're supposed to go out and do stuff together. And she was like, she's not answering her phone. She's not at home. I don't see the kids. This is not like her. She's always
this is weird.
And they were best friends.
Yeah.
And so like they called the cops. Cops came over, and the thing at the time, it was all cameras from the cops thingy. That's when it showed it on YouTube because everything was from the police cam. And like they had to call the husband. The husband came home. He was like, I don't know what happened. Like, where'd she go? And the dude played it off like, I just found her ring on the cabinet. And he's like texting her, calling her, like, where are you? And he's trying to play it off like she ran away from him.
So what did he think it was gonna happen? Like they were not gonna find out that he killed him? Like I don't get.
Yeah.
Murder is like a lot of times when people do these things, they do it out of passion, but they don't think. It's almost like they're not in it. That's why when people say those are demons get in your body and then you do such thing. And
that was not his excuse at all.
No, I know, but that's when like religious people talk about like when someone does something like that.
Yeah.
They think it's the devil making you do a murder.
No.
But humans are capable of some insane
pretty bad.
stuff. It's like
if you
your
look
brain
at our
is
history,
not.
we're pretty savage. We used to watch people fight beasts and monsters and each other just for pleasure.
Fun. Yeah, the Romans. The most civilized of all. And it's funny because they used to do that, but they were also extremely civilized in other ways.
Yeah.
They were savages, animals, animalistic instincts like that at one point, but they were also like, they had philosophy, they had medicine, they would sit and have conversations and write books.
But then, like I need to experience stuff, so I'm going to go to the Coliseum
it's like
because
the
tonight
adrenaline rush. We still do that today, but it's just we have sports and people don't.
It's a more tame version of it, yeah. It's still rough, but we're not out there killing each other.
No.
Watching people getting maimed by a bear or some shit. But some people are still into that stuff. Like, that's why like there's a lot of fascination with murderers. Maybe because we can't commit it ourselves, but we're watching the stories of all these famous murderers that took place.
That's why people watch horror movies, I think.
Oh no!
It's the same reason people watched the gladiator fights. That's
it's the
why
same
watch
thing.
Horror movies.
So I was actually reading an article recently because there was actually a new study of like why people go to haunted houses because of the October that just passed.
Yeah.
And there's a really fine line of where it's kind of like people seek these kind of thrills just enough not to be harmed, and that's why we go to haunted houses.
So you get the adrenaline of almost dying, but not
the adrenaline of fear, of being like the flight or fight kind of fear. You get enough of it, but you're in a safe area to be exposed to it, instead of it actually happening.
Yeah.
So you go to a fun house, somebody ripped a chainsaw and shit, you're like, oh my god, ah! Instead of like walking to like, somewhere and somebody actually chasing you with a good chance of actually dying.
Yeah. So you have the fear without the actual danger.
Yeah, and that's what people seek, because there are people who actually go to all these different haunted houses all over the world, or like, go to like Marvel, like Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Where they have all that stuff.
That's probably why people do like crazy, roller coaster rides. And
yeah.
It's probably the same trigger.
Rush.
It's to get the adrenaline rush without danger of actually dying.
Yeah, right. So I mean that's how.
And then you watch Final Destination, you're like, maybe I shouldn't go in this.
Yeah, see, Final Destination
Every
makes
time
me
I'm
not
driving,
want to go.
every time I'm driving behind a log
A
truck,
log truck, that's the most famous
get
one.
the fuck away.
Exactly.
I get away because that cop
Exactly.
got fucked up in that movie.
Another one where if I'm walking and I see a fire escape, I make sure I step away. I don't walk directly under it.
Because it goes...
Yep, crush her
And it
face.
kills the guy. Oh. But
Same
they
thing-
don't go all the way down anyway.
No, but enough for it to crush her face.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Impaled
good,
her face.
Yeah. Oh,
I remember that scene.
Oh.
I was like, that's the only Final Destination I watched because I'm like, some of these deaths are like, no, I'm not.
No, it's too much. I don't like watching Final Destination. I'm not.
The part that got me the most was like, I think her ring fell down. The
garbage disposal.
Yeah, and she's like, oh crap, and she's like slowly pulling her hand in. It's like the way, like the sound and the visual.
Suspense.
And I'm like, don't do it, bitch.
I'll tell you, my mom has a garbage.
Unplug it, unhook it,
Unplug it. Yeah.
take
unplug
it off, and dump it out. Okay, don't stick your hand in there.
No, if you unplug it, you're safe.
I don't trust that shit. Fuck it.
There's no batteries in it.
I don't give a shit.
I've done it. I've dropped
never do
like
that. No way.
spoons and things in there.
I would
and
unplug it.
I've stuck my hand in there.
Yeah, because at my old apartment house we have a switch here. I make sure that shit's off. I run down. I look underneath. Unplug it.
Yeah. I've done it.
And I think I use chopsticks because I would not stick my hand in there.
See, that's safe. That's fine. That's fine. Because what if you didn't unplug it? What if I would at my mom's house? I've dropped a couple of things in the past, and one time I stuck my hand in it without unplugging it or turning it off. It's just like
Tiago, no,
idiot.
The story you told me like a couple weeks ago, where your car was running, you saw
my
the
truck
fan,
was running, and I stuck my hand in the
and like
engine.
it clipped your finger or some shit. I'm like, dude,
fucking reckless, man, reckless. Yeah, so the garbage, something fell in. I remember to this day that after I took my hand out, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. You know, nothing went bad. It didn't turn on its own. There was no. The switch is away from the light, so if someone walked in, they couldn't turn it on. It's like the switch is under the cabinet. Like, you would have to know that you're going to switch that thing on.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I think it's one of those spring switches, so it doesn't, like, or I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure there's, like, safety features built in that shit nowadays.
Still, don't fucking do that. Kids, don't stick your hand in the garbage disposal. You can lose all your... You would fuck
that should be mangled. You're done.
Yeah, and cut the hand off. Just push it in a little more. Have enough.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Yeah, so unplug it, and keep the wires away from the power. And then use a chopstick to grab whatever you dropped in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think mine...
If you can't get it, take it out of the fucking thing.
It wasn't a heavy duty one, so I think like I dropped some bones in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't gonna grind, and I was like shit, and like I can literally peel back the rubber.
The little
opening.
rubber, yeah.
Yeah, and I shine a light down. I was like, oh shit, it's right there. So I grabbed chopsticks and I just yanked it out.
Such an Asian thing to do, though.
Dude, I'm not gonna stick my fingers in there.
No, I know, but like.
I need tools.
If you weren't Asian, you'd probably like use 2 forks. You're Asian, it's like, I got some chopsticks. Hold on a second. Like, white people houses, they don't have chopsticks. I've never seen it at a white person's house.
I've seen chopsticks at white people's house only because they're really into Asian cuisine.
But they have Asian friends usually.
Yeah. When I hear people who like, I love Thai food. My favorite food is Thai food.
And they only had pad Thai ever?
Yeah. From, like Marty's down the street.
Yeah. It's not. I'll tell you right now, it's not a Thai person cooking that, okay? It's probably Miguel. His name is Miguel or Carlos. He's from Guatemala. He looks a little Asian, but he's not. It's like you go to the hibachi place, and then your hibachi...
He was always bragging about how like he went to France to learn how to do this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the story he gave. Because I think we went there, and I took my mom out for her birthday. She's like, where'd you learn how to do this?
Where did you go?
We went to the one in Chelmsford. What's that place called?
Feng Shui.
Yeah, we went to Feng Shui. She likes going there. to eat for her birthday, and I think she was like, "Oh, what'd you?"
That place is expensive, yeah.
Who knows? Whatever. I don't know.
Your mom's fancy. My mom likes to go to the China buffet.
China buffet?
I'm not kidding you. She doesn't even like seafood.
I like. You know what? I can't do it. I can't do it. I used to like China buffet.
Well, me too.
Until I actually ate good food, and then I went back to China buffet. I was like, holy shit! All these foods suck.
Yeah.
They all taste like cardboard.
Yeah.
It's
just all you can eat.
Yeah. It's not even good. I mean, there may be a few.
I haven't been there in years.
There's a few things I do like. I can eat.
Their jumbo shrimp is good.
Jumbo, yeah. From there, I don't think I had jumbo shrimp from there. Jumbo shrimp from Feng Shui is pretty good.
It is.
Yeah, because they do the buffet on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. But I went back to China buffet for something, and I was just like, "This is gross. I can't. I don't even know why I came back."
I like your hat, dude.
Thank you.
Where's that from? I like it. It's simple.
Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
I think $20.
No shit.
Yeah. $20-something. Yeah.
I like it.
I like it like this. I used to buy a hat without any logos, but then I saw this. It had like trees on it, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I bought another hat.
You're an outdoorsy guy.
Because I like this hat so much. I bought another hat. It's gray and it has mountains.
I know.
And I'm an outdoorsy guy.
Yeah,
so.
you are. You bought a Tacoma for that and put like sliders and.
Yep, to go outdoor.
What do you think is the most terrifying thing to find in the woods?
A dead body.
You think so?
Yeah. To me, that would be terrifying.
Someone hanging on a tree or something?
Just someone out there who got murdered and got dumped.
Yeah, because now you have to call the cops.
Yeah.
And now if you don't,
you
can get in trouble.
You'll get in trouble. And the thing is, you have to hang out and wait for them to come and be like, yeah, I found it right here. Do you need me for anything else? I'm good. Can I go? But that's the thing is like you don't know what. Oh, so I downloaded an app called Randonautica. Have you heard about that? Oh, so the whole thing about Randonautica, I heard it on YouTube, and it's this app, and it's been out for a while now. They just revamped it, but originally what the idea was, it's an app, and you can set it to a certain radius of this search field for the app. So basically, what you do is you press the button. You're supposed to think of something, and the thing was here, and here's like the woo-woo shit comes in. It's like it's supposed to come in tune with your mind and the universe, and it pinpoints a certain place on the map, and you have to go there just to explore. The idea of the app was for you to get out and explore places you would not have thought of going to.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been one of the places that actually made news headline was this group of teenagers went to this random place that Randonautica picked. They went there. They found a suitcase, like a little travel bag, and they were like, "Oh my god, what is that? Like, should we open it?" And like the person got closer, like, "It smells weird. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is." But they actually, when they finally unzipped a portion of it, they saw a chopped up body in there.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, and it was like out on the beach somewhere.
Is that like
under a pier?
Random?
Yeah, so random. It's like the cops actually came, and it was random. So Randonautica, it just picks up a random spot on the map, and it tells you to go explore there.
No
and because
shit.
of that,
and then there was a bag of a dead person.
Yeah, like those travel bags that people.
Yeah,
carry-ons.
Bag, yeah.
That's what it was. It was in there because they went to open. They actually decided to open it up.
Man, the world
just
is
to
weird.
see what is. And they were like, "Dude, we just used this app. This is where it brought us to." Because I don't know how it works. I haven't used it yet, but I have it. We should use it.
Sounds. What if we find a buyer?
And the thing is, because of that, there's been a lot of traction. Like all these YouTubers using it and like finding weird shit. But the funny thing is, it's actually a pinpoint. Like you actually watch the app pick out a spot in real time on the map, and they went there and they found either some weird shit or nothing at all. Like sometimes it'll take you into like the middle of like someone's backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
And you can't go there.
You can't go there, obviously, but the whole idea is like it's just for you to get out and explore places that you may never ever have thought of. Yeah.
Weird.
It is weird.
Could be like, go into the jailhouse.
So I mean,
criminal.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. So it was like an entirely free app, but now it's like they revamped it. So you only get a certain amount of, I guess, randoms a day before it refreshes, or you can buy tokens to continue.
Oh, of course, money making.
Yeah.
It's a way to make money. Yeah.
Or you wait until like tomorrow for the tokens to refresh, and you get like 3 or 4 a day.
Oh, all right.
Because yeah.
Sounds interesting.
It's kind of, it's interesting.
What is it called? Tell the people.
Randonautica.
Randonautica. All right, guys. Download Randonautica and try it out. And put on the comments. What did you find? If you find a body, don't put it on the comments. Call the cops. Don't tell
Call
us
the cops first.
Yeah.
And then tell us.
And then tell us how it happened. What happened afterwards. Don't be like, oh my God, I found a body, dude. That's a guy from Massachusetts.
Oh my God, I found a
body.
body.
Oh my God, Jerry, look, it's a baby whale. Have you seen that video?
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen that.
It's a fucking fish. It's like, it's a baby whale. What is it, dude?
What was it, yesterday or the day? Yeah, what day? Yesterday. Yesterday I had I was working and I had one of my suppliers call me up, and they were like, "Oh, how can I get in touch with your accounts payable?" And I was like, "Oh, the only way to do it is via email. Hang on, let me get you their email address." And I was like, "All right, here it is. This is where you send it to. This is the best way. Oh, you can't reach them because of so and so, but you can do this and this and that." And then at the end, she was like, "So like, where are you from?" And I was like, "What?"
I'm from America.
I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like just like listening to your voice, I can pick up an accent. It's like, "Are you from New York?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm not from New York. I'm actually like 30 minutes away from Boston." And she's like, "Oh, okay. I picked up a little something in your voice, like from a region in the United States. I couldn't pinpoint if you're from New York or New Jersey."
Or Boston, yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, you're probably picking up the Boston accent." And as we continue to talk, she's like, "Oh yeah, I can totally hear it now because like now that we're having, talking a little bit more."
Yeah, I don't know if I even have. Mine's not that strong. Also, yours is not that strong, but I guess it is more apparent to people who are not from here.
Not from around here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you can catch people who have that
it.
crazy accent, kid, from like South Boston.
There's more who's like on the extreme side. Like when we talk, like we can hear it. Like more like okay, it's like the word here.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
Hear it.
No, hear it.
Hear it.
You can hear it or you can hear it.
Hear it. Yeah, I guess.
It's funny. Yeah, just some of the stuff. It's weird. Like when I was visited California, this dude was like every single word that I said that wasn't that was a Boston thing. Yeah, he was like, "Oh my God, you just said it," and I was like, huh?
"You gotta point it out, dude. Like what the hell?"
No, I mean it doesn't bother me.
No, I know.
I thought it was kind of funny that he was able to pick up each word that I said.
I have a real hard time listening to people from California, like those girls.
Like, oh my God.
No, I think it's kind of like, it's like, are you dying? Because, like, let your voice out. Like, let it out. Let us hear your voice. Oh, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to talk about.
I don't know. What are you talking about? Who does that?
People from California, some YouTubers, man. Like, you watch them, they do that. They do that. Like, even... Like, you hear podcasts and people have that kind of... I'm like, dude, just fucking let it out. Let it out. Speak with your chest,
Speak from your diaphragm.
Yeah, let it out. Like, we want to hear your voice. We don't want to hear this. Whatever. It sounds like your throat is farting. Like, relax. Or unrelaxed. Too relaxed.
I like my Boston accent. I don't do it intentionally. Sometimes it comes out.
Depends how angry you are, too.
I guess so. It depends on my mood.
More when you're angry.
Depends more, yeah.
Like
more.
Fucking guy.
I just said it. More.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's. I think we're a little due.
To unbox.
Let's
unbox. Come around, Case. Come around.